All right, everybody, now that we have spent some time with our Filipino coral reef project, creating 3D space through size, change, and overlapping, we're going to experiment with creating 3D space with an app on the iPads. We're going to make some digital art today, right? So, when you and your partner get your iPad, you're going to hit the home button. That will open up this. Tap it again, and what you're going to look for is 3D sketch. That's what we're looking for. So you guys will touch on that. It's pretty rad. Yours will look nothing like that. You end up with something like this, right? So what I would like you to do first is turn the music off. You can keep the sound on so you can hear some stuff, and then we're going to play. Then you're going to get to kind of your project page. And what we want to do is use a single person. You can see these are some things that I have already experimented with building. All right? But if you see any of those, don't worry about that yet. You want to hit the plus sign, and it's going to take you to your drawing surface, kind of like graph paper. So a couple things here. Your challenge today is to create some kind of 3D solid. Could be an architectural building, a house. It could be an automobile of some sort, a rocket ship, or a robot, right? But some sort of 3D solid using these solid figures over on the left-hand side. Now, a few things about how the app works. You can see there's already an outline of a square there. So if I click on any of these shapes, it's going to show up. For example, boom, I have a cube. Now if I want to change that cube's color, I can go right here and select any of those colors to work with. And I can also go back and change those colors later. Now right now, you can see it has kind of like a compass down here that tells you up, back, forward, left, right. So I can slide that to the left. I can slide it, to the left, to the right. I can slide it forward. I can slide it back. All right? So when you see this, it allows you to move it. All right? Now, if I do this, then I can change the size. I can stretch it out. All right? I can make it deeper. So you can see how I can do that. I can make it deeper forwards. If I want to change the height of it, I go up above this midpoint line, and I can raise it, all right? I can also raise the bottom. If it's something that's going to be up in the air, you can see how I can do that below that line, all right? So let's say I've got that to start with. Now, if I want to make another shape, if I want to rotate it, I'm going to use one finger. I'm going to pull, oops. All right, so I have that. So now I'm going to pull this box out. So you can see I just touched that dot. And that's where your shapes are going to show up. Let's say I want to add a, I'm going to add a triangle to it. All right, I'm going to build a roof. I'm going to change the color so you can see that a little easier. All right, I'm going to pull this forward. And if I want to zoom out, I can use two fingers. You can see how I'm also kind of changing where it goes with two fingers. If I spread them, it zooms in. If I pinch them, it goes further apart. All right. So I'm going to rotate that so I can see it on the side. I want to change its size a little bit. And what I'm going to try and do is create a roof here. So I'm going to elevate the bottom a little taller so you can see how I can move that. Now I'm going to switch back over to the moving tool. All right. So I can see how I have to measure. So I'm going to stretch that out. I'm going to stretch that out a little bit. So it is at least as wide as the house. All right. Is it tall enough? Does not appear so. So I'm going to move it up some. All right. Slide it over. And drop it down. How's that work? You're going to drop it down. Boom. So you can see how now it's on the house. If I go too far, you can see how, and that's something you could do too. You could have something intersect with it so it kind of looks like that. But I don't want that. I'm going to have it go up. And if I turn it to the side, I can do that. Now check this out. I'm going to stretch that out a little bit more. I want it to go halfway. But now what I'm going to do is there's a plus sign right there. And I'm going to plus that, and you can see it makes a copy of it. Right? Because I want to use that for the other side, and I don't want to have to draw it again. Now these buttons allow you to rotate things. I can rotate it this way. I can rotate it this way, which is what I'm going to do, or I can rotate it on that axis too. All right? So I have that. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to move it. Oh, move it forward. So you can see how I've got them together. Okay, cool. If I want to add any details, like a door, I'm going to pull my cube out there so I can see it. Turn that into a cube, maybe change its color so I can see that a little easier. Stretch it out. I want it to be on the ground. Boom. See what it looks like. Maybe it's a little too tall. I'm going to lower it. Alright, then I can make it. I go back to that move tool, slide it against it. So again, I could go all the way in, or you can see how I can pull it out. But once it touches the wall there, so I've got my door. Alright? So you can see how that works. You know, if I wanted to if I want to build something else, tap that. Let's say I want to put a window on it. I can do that, change its color. Alright, and again, I'm just going to move this over, change its size, make it a little skinnier. Alright, oh, way skinnier. I can move it, boom, touches the wall, and then, oh, and then I can slide it up. And I have my house. All right, so whatever you build, whether it's a house, whether it's a car, whether it's a rocket, whatever 3D solid you're building, start with the basic shape and add some details to it, because that's going to make it more interesting. Once we do that, once you and your partner have something you like, you're going to take a screenshot of it, hit this button, the home button, and the button down here at the same time. All right? So you take a photograph. Then we're going to go into your photos. There it is. Boom. And what I can do then is I'm going to go up to the slider, and I want to crop it with this tool so I can get rid of the tools in there. Right? Get a position that I like. Hit done. And I am good to go. And I'm going to email that to your teacher and print out several for the art show as well. Sound good? Get building.